All right, we're going to read a book today that's another construction type book with our building study. And this book is called On the Construction Site. This is by Karen Brown and B. Johnson. So, normally, if you were reading this book, you could shine a light through some of the pages to kind of see something that's hidden. But we'll be able to see the hidden parts when we turn the page. So let's go ahead and get started on our book On the Construction Site. Here you can see on the front cover, there is a actual construction site with people building and lots of equipment. You can see looks like a backhoe, a cement mixer. Here's a big crane on the construction site. A tall skyscraper is being built. If you look closely around the construction site, through the steel beams and the concrete, you will find machines and people hard at work. Shine a flashlight behind the page or hold it up to a light to reveal what's hidden in and around the construction site. Discover a world of great surprises. Now remember, I said we'll be able to see what's hidden when we turn the page. Will people live in this skyscraper? When it's finished, can you see the plans? So a skyscraper is a very tall building. So here you can see the construction workers, they've got the plans. That's where the architect has drawn out what the building is going to look like. So let's turn the page so we can see what it's going to look like. So here you can see some of the plans. The architects and engineers work together to design the building. The plans show what it will look like. People watch as the area is cleared. What is this truck taking away? So here you see people watching. So what is this truck taking away? Well, let's turn the page and see. Rubble. Lots of rocks and debris as rubble. This dump truck is full of rocks and rubble. The back lifts up and tips to dump the load. Tall buildings need to stand on strong, solid ground. This means builders have to dig down to make the foundations. How many diggers can you see? So there's one with its big arm reaching down, and there's another arm reaching out. Do you think that's one or two diggers? It was two. Yes, we can see one that was reaching down and one that was reaching out. There's a digger in the pit as well as on the surface. Their claws scoop out earth to make a huge hole. The skyscraper's foundations are very deep. What is this machine doing? Can you tell? It's driving that down into the ground. A pile driver is hammering steel poles into the bedrock. Steel is a strong metal. So the pile driver, it like bangs on the top to make it go deeper into the ground. Bang, bang. The cement mixer is making concrete for the foundations. What's going on inside? Whoosh, whoosh, swoosh. So it's spinning around and around. Water and cement whirl around and around in the drum. They mix together to make concrete. The foundations are level, ready for the concrete that forms the basement floor. Can you see which machines smooth out the ground? Bulldozers push the earth from side to side to finish the foundations. They have flat tracks instead of wheels. The frame of the skyscraper is built next. Workers on the ground guide crane operators who place the steel beams. So here these people on the ground are telling this guy here in the crane which way to go. Can you see how they talk to each other? How do you think they talk to each other when they're so far away? The crane operator follows hand signals. Each signal means something different. So if you see right here, this construction worker's got his thumb pointing down. So that means the crane needs to bring that piece of steel down, down. An iron worker is fixing the beam in place. Can you see how? Metal melts at high temperatures. The iron worker welds or joins the beams by melting them together with a welding torch. Sizzle, crackle. They have to wear a special helmet when they're welding, otherwise it'll hurt their eyes. Floors are added to the metal frame. A layer of thin steel sheeting is laid on the beams. What is added next? Concrete is poured onto the floor. It will dry hard and flat. Carpets will be added after the walls have been painted. Swoosh! Materials are needed at the top of the building. How do they get there? A hoist, which is similar to an elevator. A hoist full of steel beams goes up the tall tower like an elevator. The tower is joined to the building to keep it safe and steady. It's going up, up, up. Glass is placed on the outside of the building. Can you see who's inside? There are a lot of builders at work. The glass is tinted to shelter the people inside. Plumbers and electricians are adding water and electrical systems to the finished floors. Where are the pipes and wires? The pipes and wires are hidden behind the walls and under the floor. A heavy steamroller drives over fresh asphalt to make a flat road. What's under the asphalt? The road is made of many layers. There is earth, sand, gravel under the asphalt. That's to keep everything nice and smooth. The road is soon being used by lots of people. It's inside the trucks. Looks like furniture, refrigerator. One truck has a ladder, paint and brushes to decorate the apartments. The other trucks have lots of boxes and furniture. Can you guess why? Yeah, people are moving in. So this big tall skyscraper must be apartments. On the top floor, a family moves into their new home. What will the view be like? Remember, they're on the very tippy top floor, so they should be able to see lots of things out their windows. Wow, look at what they can see. They can see the city skyline. The skyscraper is complete, and now people live here. The workers and machines have moved to another site, ready to build again. There's more. The next time you see a construction site, find the different machines and the job each one is doing. Digger. Some diggers have a long arm called a boom with a bucket at the end. The arm lowers the bucket so it can scoop up the soil. The boom lifts the bucket and empties the soil into a dump truck. The dump truck is a big container, can be filled with soil and rubble. Pumps called pistons lift it up near the front and tilt it backward. The back flap, called a tailgate, opens and the container empties. Pile driver. This machine works like a giant hammer. A heavy weight at the end of its arm lifts and drops to push a steel or concrete pole, called a pile, into the ground. The cement mixer. The big drum is turned by a motor to mix the water, cement, and stones inside. The drum keeps turning to stop the concrete mix from setting. If the concrete mix sets inside the truck, it gets hard and it can't come out. A bulldozer. The large metal blade on the front can be moved up and down by a lever in the cab. This is the cab where the person drives it. It makes the ground level by pushing the sole in front. And here's our crane. This machine lifts loads up and down and from side to side. A long straight arm called a beam turns on one spot. A long cable hangs from the beam. It winds around a wheel called a pulley to lift objects at the end of the cable. A hoist is a cage that carries materials up and down the outside of the building like an elevator. The cage travels along a straight metal pole and is powered by a motor. And this is the steamroller. It uses one or more heavy metal wheels called rollers to flatten a road surface. The largest roller can weigh as much as a small jet plane. That's pretty heavy. Why does it have to be heavy, do you think? Yeah, because it's got to level out the road. If it didn't weigh much, it might not get out some of the bumps, and then the road might be bumpy. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that book, learning a little bit more about what you might find on a construction site.